I just want money. 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 I just want
Yikes. We run into the money, you saying I'm a boat. Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett about to set it off. Bands that make a dance, it's going down like a sunset. That ass fat, I wanna see what else under that sundress. Stack it till I die, keep it coming.
Hey, what's up, everyone, and welcome to another edition of On the Bassline with your boy Marcus Bass, Los Angeles Clippers beat writer for BallerMindFrame.com. Check us out there for all your NBA news, opinion, and analysis. www.BallerMindFrame.com. That song you just heard was Dollar by Checkmate. Check him out, coming straight out of the Bay Area. His Twitter's down there at the bottom. Follow him, show him some love. So let's just get into it. Matt Barnes, Serge Ibaka got in a little bit of a tussle during the last Clipper Thunder game. If you haven't seen the video, watch it right here.
Griffin comes to give the pick. Ball down the lane. The lob, able that ball. Griffin the rebound. In traffic. Gets the shot blocked, but he's fouled. Then he gets thrown down, and Barnes goes after him. Undeserved roughness from Ibaka, then from Barnes. A little tension here at Staples Center.
His ejection led to a very frustrated tweet in the locker room, which violates NBA policy. I'm going to let you read the tweet here, but it does contain explicit language, so hide your kids and hide your wife. Now, Matt Barnes did apologize for his colorful language on Twitter. And I don't necessarily think that his tweet was directed towards the Clipper team as a whole. I think it was more directed towards Blake Griffin. You know, Blake Griffin takes a pounding in the paint. And the word is, or the opinion is, he shies away from physicality or that he's soft. Now, I definitely would not call Blake Griffin soft. I think that his composure is oftentimes mistaken for being a little bit too passive. And I think that's caught on with opposing players. And they're starting to try to test him because, you know, Blake Griffin, he will tend to sort of check out if things aren't going his way in the game. But I haven't seen that happen due to the level of physicality. I think he's responded greatly in terms of physicality. He always goes at his defender. He just never, you know, he's not a retaliation kind of person. And there, you know, I think he has to walk that fine line between being too passive and being a little bit too aggressive as to where he'd be a detriment to his team, you know, accruing technical fouls and getting thrown out of games and things of that nature. But Blake Griffin does need to deliver an elbow or a shove or, you know, something along those lines because he needs to let his defenders know that he's there in the game as well. And he's going to match that level of intensity. Otherwise, he's just going to keep getting bullied. So, Blake, love your numbers this season. You're definitely on par to, you know, head to another All-Star game. But shove someone once in a while, all right? Now let's talk Lamar Odom. So we've all heard the rumors that possibly Lamar Odom could be rejoining the Clippers. This is after a very tumultuous summer of rumors of drug abuse and divorce rumors with him and Khloe Kardashian. Lamar this summer just seemed to want to get away from it. He went back to his alma mater at Rhode Island. He's been working out. Clippers staff has said he's looked pretty good. I know he met with Doc Rivers a few weeks prior, and Doc Rivers actually said he looked good. Jerry Dudley said his weight looked amazing. But the real question is, do the Clippers need him at this point? And with there being a big rebounding disparity in the Clippers' second unit, I definitely say yes. Lamar Odom last season averaged 4 points and about 6 boards in 20 minutes of action, but that was in a very undefined system from Vinny Del Negro. I think with a very specific role, Lamar Odom could definitely come in and contribute to this Clipper team. The only thing that I question is, at his age, does he still have the athleticism to contend on the glass with the more athletic power forwards and centers of today's game? The only area where I think that Lamar Odom will really help is down the line in clutch moments where the Clippers really need to stop. You know, when Doc Rivers calls a timeout and he's bracing the guys for a big defensive possession, I think you throw Lamar Odom in there with his, you know, veteran savvy and his defensive know-how, and you might come out with a few more stops. So I am thumbs up on this move. I would love to see Lamar Odom back in the Clipper uniform. I still have my Lamar Odom jersey, so I definitely want to blow the dust off of that. And no pun intended for Lamar Odom, but I definitely want to throw the jersey back on and definitely see Lamar Odom back in action. I think it's getting to the situation as to where he might need basketball, but the question is, does basketball still need him? So thumbs up on a potential Lamar Odom return. So I did want to run off a few stats to you before I get out of here. Shout out to Chris Paul for breaking Magic Johnson's record of consecutive double-doubles to start the season in points and assists. Anytime you're mentioned with a great like Magic Johnson, it's definitely an accomplishment. So shout out to you, Chris Paul. JJ Redick still averaging close to 10 points in the first quarter. He's having a great start of the season. Another really cool stat of his, he runs an average of 3.5 miles per game. So that's a lot of work to get open and shoot the ball, and he's shooting it very well. So shout out to JJ Redick. Jared Dudley having his breakout game of the season against the Bulls, scoring 21 points. And that was also the Clippers' biggest win in franchise history, winning the game 121-82. Biggest margin of victory ever in Clipper history. So shout out to the entire Clipper team. I believe everyone actually scored that day. So shout out to the entire Clipper team. Shout out to Reggie Bullock, rookie Reggie Bullock, who's actually making a name for himself, coming in and taking some of Matt Barnes' minutes, who's out right now with the injury to his eye that Zach Randolph delivered. And Reggie's looking really good, man. You know, he's spacing the floor very well. He has pretty good composure for a rookie. I think we're going to see some really good things out of Reggie Bullock. So shout out to Reggie. Very last player I want to shout out is Antawn Jamison. He's got his first look in the game against the Bulls. Had 11 points in 16 minutes. He shot the ball very well. Much different from the Jamison we saw during the preseason, so I was happy to see that. And the question now is, who's actually going to play? Who's actually going to fill that role as the stretch four in the Clippers' second unit? Is it going to be Mullins or is it going to be Jamison? I know Doc said he wants to sort of spare Jamison towards the playoffs, and maybe that's a great strategy, but I think the Clippers could definitely use some more consistent shooting in that unit. So shout out to Jamison for getting it done. That's all for stats, and now I want to talk D-Rose. Even if you're not a Chicago Bulls fan, you definitely got to be sorry for Derrick Rose. Derrick sat out all last year rehabbing a torn ACL injury, despite criticism from fans and media alike in that he should return a little bit earlier than he was comfortable. He did return this year. He had a great preseason, had a pretty good start to the season, looked great athletically, just needed to get his timing back. And then he goes down with another injury, this time the opposite knee and a torn meniscus that's going to keep him out for the remainder of the season. He did undergo successful surgery, so that's a great thing. They did not remove or shave down the meniscus. They repaired it, so his rehabilitation is going to be longer. It might even be the exact same amount of time that it took for the ACL injury for him to come back. But I do want to wish this man a speedy recovery. I do like Derrick Rose. I think he is one of the more classier players in the NBA. He can be a bit media shy, but I think he's just a really average guy. Derrick Rose really caught my attention as a person when he broke down in tears with the unveiling of his new shoe. I think that might have been 2 seasons ago. And if you haven't seen that video, I won't show it here because it's a little bit too long, but definitely look it up on YouTube. The guy is just full of humility. He loves the game, and he's great to his fans. So I wish Derrick Rose a speedy recovery. With regards to the Chicago Bulls, who knows what they're going to do now? Luol Deng coming up as a free agent. They've still got, Joakim Noah. They've got Kirk Heinrich. They've got Jimmy Butler, who I believe is injured right now, but getting ready to come back any time soon. But they don't need to blow up the ship. They definitely need to re-sign Deng. I think he's got some good years ahead of him, although he's been in the league for a while now. They need to also look in the draft for, I think that's their best option, is to look in the draft for a combo guard. They need someone that can play the point guard and the small guard, the 1 and the 2, just in case Derrick Rose doesn't come back, just in case he doesn't get back to form. They're covered. Now, they go into the draft, they find a combo guard, they can have someone that can start the 2 and play either behind Jimmy Butler or in front of him, or they can have someone that could potentially start at the point guard over Kirk Heinrich. So Tom Thibodeau and the Bulls, you definitely got some work to do. Good luck on the rest of the season. I don't necessarily think that they'll be out of a playoff spot, but I think they'll be a lower seed. And maybe where they're looking at 7 and 8 now, and they were probably looking about 4 and 5. So shout out to Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls. Derrick, God bless you. I wish you a speedy recovery. The Clippers' next game is this Wednesday versus the New York Knicks. Knicks aren't doing so hot. It's not really a great start to the season for New York basketball in general. Brooklyn's not doing that great either. But the Knicks are currently 13th in the Eastern Conference. Their record stands at 3-10, and the Clippers still need to prepare and focus just like they would for any other team, whether it be Miami or Indiana or the Lakers or the Spurs or whomever. The Clipper record currently stands at 10-5. I think most people think it should be more like 13-2, and that brings reason to addressing the Knicks just as they would any other team. So, Clips, let's get it done. And that's it for On the Baseline this week. I'm going to try to hit you guys back with another episode of On the Baseline next week. So until then, Clipper Nation, stand up, and everyone else, sit down.